This thing on, Nicholas? This thing on?
Joe,
Testing,
Joe, I
testing.
can't hear you.
Oh, fuck you. I'm gonna tell you something, Nicholas. My daughter is out of school for the summer, and I am not mentally or physically prepared to not have my hours of solitude during the week. They are being forcibly removed from me for the next few months, but that's okay. We got a lot of fun planned. Hopefully, the show won't suffer as a result. It's possible. It's summertime, but I'll make up for it with my zany shirts. Look at this. For those watching, this is a real zany shirt. I mean, it is. I'll tell you what, Nicholas. I've saved up about 6 months of per diem to buy it.
Oh yeah, have you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The patterns are very complicated. I will give you that.
Oh, dude, they're so complicated. I don't think Einstein could figure it out. I'll tell you what. This thing is just fun story. I was wearing another very complicated shirt that I got for Father's Day that was ordered off Amazon. And very distinct shirt, very bright, very vibrant. And I'm getting ready. I'm wearing it to golf last Friday, and I'm walking through Wegmans to pick up my snacks for said golf outing. And I shit you not, there's a dude as I'm walking by in the checkout with his wife wearing the same exact shirt. Nicholas, I didn't bat an eyelash.
Wow.
I had a shit eating grin on my face, and I just said, "Hey, shirt brother." No idea what the fuck I was talking about.
Wow.
Just looked at me like, "What the?" And then kind of like nodded, like, "Okay, we're wearing the same shirt." But like, I was hoping for, don't ever do another rule or something, right? Some acknowledgement. Nothing. I
That's
got nothing.
that's twice recently that you've made not only an I think you should leave reference, but a Biff Whiff reference, and
Not,
it's just gone over everybody's head.
not if they got tattoos.
That's disappointing. That
Didn't
really
get it.
is. Is
Didn't
it?
get it.
I'm just curious because I'm not a dad yet, and I just want to make sure I know. Like, is it like when you become a dad? Is there like official paperwork that you have to sign says I have to wear shirts that like it looks like I should have my ass kicked? Like, is that how it's? Do you have to sign documentation for that?
So I am not a big fan of like the shirts, like the typical like dad shirts that you might find at like the paper store. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain like style of like shirts that I feel like are like dad shirts that have like quippy things on them or funny dad joke like things on them. No, I like loud. I've always liked loud. My
Mm.
grandfather once said to me, Nicholas, he said, men don't wear enough color. And it is true. It is true. I think generally men tend to wear more muted tones. Maybe they think it's silly, maybe they think it's not bro enough, whatever. But I always took that to heart. I always try and wear color. And so I like to wear loud, obnoxious shirts, especially when I'm golfing. It's the summertime too, right? Like why
Mm.
not be loud and have some fun with it? But no, there's not official paperwork. It just happens. There's going to be a point in time, Nicholas. You're going to reach a stage in your life, and I've reached this stage. I am there. Where for Father's Day, I received a heating pad for Father's Day because I got a bum back.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ironically enough, right? I got a heating pad, and but it's got a little battery pack, so it's not. I don't have to be tethered to a cord.
Hmm.
Right, I can walk around the house with it. It's quite nice, to be honest with you. But like,
It's
that's the shit that happens. Your
it's
kid looks at you
funny.
like an old man and says, "We need to get him old man shit."
It's funny how that kind of thing happens. Not the old man shit, like the like given your profession where you have like back issues and stuff like that. Like that happens to people all the time. Where it's like
Yeah,
they work in this profession, they do a good job in their profession, but when it comes to applying that to their own stuff, not necessarily. And I'm not saying
well,
you're not good at taking care of yourself, but it's just like you don't have someone else to crack your back. Like the person you'd want to have crack your back is you.
right. And I don't have that, but I will tell you, I do need to to move a little more. But that is neither here nor there, Nicholas. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of all ages. Geeks Worldwide Radio. I haven't said that in a while. TLDR Studios proudly presents to you the greatest, and I mean the greatest, podcasting team in the world. He is the comic book writer Nick Friar. I am your friendly neighborhood backcracker, Dr. Joe, and together we are the TLDR Comic Book Club, baby. Filling out all those media credentials right before we went on. That really fucked up my head.
Yep, that will absolutely do it. There's been a lot going on since we last convened. Obviously, we were on for Dork's 10th anniversary special. Congrats to them again, and thanks for having the both of us on the show. Also, we released another Friarside Chat. If you're watching us live right now, head on over to Kickstarter right away. The Cloakroom campaign is going to be closing
Ooh,
up, and they need a little bit more to get the fourth issue of the Cloakroom fully funded. This is something that Joe and I both care about deeply, especially me. This is where I got my first comic book writing opportunity. It was in the first issue. If you didn't get that first issue, you can get that in a bundle here. Or if you've been up to date or you're just a fuck you Friar, whatever, you can go and just get the fourth issue. And it's all anthology work. So it's all short stories.
they're
Joe
like,
and I did.
I was gonna say they're like $200 away. Like they're come on, we can get them there.
Yeah, they're knocking on the door. So if you're watching us right now, if you're listening to this, overnight, because I always see that we have people that listen as soon as this drops at midnight on Wednesdays. If you're listening, go check that out. Go back it. You're not going to regret it. There's this is a very interesting issue in the sense of some of the different storytelling dynamics that Joe and I experienced because we got to read all five issues or five stories within this issue. So check that out. Back it. You can get it like the digital version is only $8. Physical version is $15. So I know they'll really appreciate it and will really appreciate it if you go and back that.
And I'll tell you what I did. I backed a physical copy, Nicholas. But not only did that, I did an add-on. You can do add-ons. And
Ooh,
Jerry, Jerry's first comic is on there.
a Cicada Samurai.
Cicada Samurai, which I purchased. So you can do little add-ons. They're close. They're close, folks. So let's help get them over the finish line. Let's make this happen.
Yep, 100%. All right. So as for us, we are doing what's new. We did just have that recent Friarside Chat. I'm not going to say what else we got planned in the hopper, but definitely make sure you subscribe to one of our audio channels because if you're watching us over on YouTube, if you're finding us on Instagram Live and you're wondering why have I not seen these conversations, that's because there's a Friarside Chat and those are audio only episodes for TLDR Comic Book Club. So make sure you subscribe over on Apple, Spotify, Geeks Worldwide Radio, what is it? Audible. I'm like blanking on all these right now, Joe. Make sure you subscribe to one of those. Leave a 5-star rating and review. That helps the show out a ton, and that prevents you from learning the real meaning of Backcracker. And also, if you follow us on YouTube or if you follow us on the audio channels only, make sure you check out our YouTube page. Give us a subscribe. That would be a huge help. That goes a long way as well. Obviously, we're trying to do everything we can for comic book readers like ourselves because the stuff we're doing is the stuff that we want to hear from other shows. So make sure you subscribe there. Helps us out a ton and tell a fellow comic book reader. All right, I think we've done enough plugging, Joe, as the dork doesn't do it enough for us. Let's get over to what we got new coming out this week. Let's start with, I guess we can start with Marvel.
Jesus Christ, Nicholas. It was a stressful week in terms of reading books. Like
First world
so
problems.
many goddamn comics to read. I will tell you this. I am well past where I need to be to reach 1,000. I know your child this last is already over 1,000, so props
Hey man,
to you.
my life, it's just it's just the way it is. I don't even want to tell you.
I'm proud of the both of us, Nicholas.
Yeah.
We are both
It's
reading with
it you know what? Before you start going into what's new on that note, like I've gone in I've used that to like kind of see like how much I read and like how much we read on a weekly basis. And I've definitely gone back and like books that I've kind of put off, been like, this is the year to do it. It takes a lot to get to 1,000 in a year. Like I know like we're joking about like how I'm ahead of you and how like you're ahead of where you need to be. Like it still takes a lot. Like even if I was spacing this out a little bit more, holy shit, dude, it is not easy to get to 1,000 comics in a year.
I couldn't have done it if I hadn't gone back and read some graphic novels and gotten ahead of the game. Because there's like last year, like in years past, it's like, oh, I got to read 83 books in a month. That's oof. And if you don't reach it, you'll never get so like
Yeah.
being ahead of the game takes a lot of the stress off. But anyways, we're flying, baby.
Yeah, and we're an advantage. We get to go and review books, so we get to look at a lot, not on our dime necessarily. We're talking about on the show and publicizing those books and everything, but at the same time, we have an advantage. But this is where if you have hoopla, like Joe has talked about many a time, it's one of the best things you can do for yourself. You can read a ton of comics over there.
Sure can. Sure can, baby. Speaking of a ton of comics from Marvel Comics, we have Ultimate Spider-Man issue 18, Fantastic Four issue 33, the Zdeno Chara issue, recently elected into the NHL Hall of Fame.
Oh, nice.
Miles Morales Spider-Man issue 34, The Incredible Hulk issue 26, Deadpool issue 15, Predator vs. Spider-Man issue 3. Nicholas, oh my word. I kid you not. I am giving this book consideration for horror book of
Ooh,
2025.
wow.
Excellent. Excellent. Excellent.
Okay.
Spider-Man Wolverine issue 2, Spider-Boy issue 20, Doom Academy issue 5, Star Wars Legacy of Vader issue 5, Superior Avengers issue 3, The Thing issue issue 2, The Vision and Scarlet Witch issue 2, Wolverine and Kitty Pryde issue 3, Giant Size Age of Apocalypse issue 1, and then a book. This is the one book I didn't read, Nicholas, this week that I wanted to. X-Men From the Ashes, Demons and Death issue 1, written by friend of the show Alec Packnadel. But you've got a book you'd like to discuss.
I will say I did. This was the one that just missed for me as well. I did start reading it. Just there wasn't enough time. I'm blanking on who the artist is in it for the first half of the book because I think it's it's like one's a Madeline Pryor Havoc issue, and the other one is a
Straddle and Madeline, baby.
oh my god, why am I blanking on his name right now? Omega Red. One and then it's an Omega Red story, both written by Alex. I don't know if it's the same artist for both stories, but the first one, Joe, you might want to try and find that real quick so we can give that guy a shout out or girl. That art was so badass. Seriously, like I don't necessarily need this in a female character, but like Madeline Pryor was shredded, dude. I was like, holy crap, what's going? And it looked great. Like it was perfect. So yeah, I didn't like definitely something that we're gonna want to be checking out down the line. Were you able to find out who that was?
Yeah, so we have Alex Packnell as the writer and Philip Sevi as the artist and Arthur Hesley as the colorist.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, awesome. So something to check out. That's number one. But I got to talk about to me the number one X-Men title going right now, and that is Uncanny X-Men. The 16th issue is out this week. Of course, Gail Simone and David Marquez, and this is the conclusion of the Dark Artery arc. And try saying that 5 times fast. This was the best action of not just the arc, the entire series. I've talked about David Marquez quite a bit, and he's done some amazing work. He has shined throughout this series, but this is unquestionably his best work yet. There was so much action throughout the course of this issue, and every bit of it was outstanding. And look, some of the best stuff was Gambit stuff. Of course, I'm gonna love that, but at the same time, like there's that bias is only like a fraction of why I'm saying that. And I also, if you look at the main cover for X-Men issue 16, you'll see the artwork that I or the X-Men suits that I had mentioned from issue 15. We saw them at the end of that issue. Then we see them on the cover in issue 16. I would imagine, given the end of the arc and all this stuff, where those suits that we see in because of the specific place that these characters enter, I don't think that we're going to see those outfits again ever. But at the same time, I would really, really like to see those again. And it's not just Gambit, Rogue, Wolverine looks friggin' badass, dude. I would love to see action figures of those, but 2 issues, I think it's going to be hard to warrant that necessarily. But some awesome stuff in. It looks like going into issue 17, we're going to be getting some more dark stuff. Gail Simone, like low key, has had a lot of horror-y elements throughout her run, and it's been I've been loving the work that she's done on this series.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love that. All right, Nicholas, why don't you take us through DC?
All right, we got Absolute Wonder Woman issue 9, Absolute Martian Manhunter issue 4, Superman issue 27, Justice League Unlimited issue 8, Green Arrow issue 25, Green Lantern issue 24, The Flash issue 22, Harley Quinn issue 52, Green Lantern Dark issue 5, Mr. Terrific Year 1 issue 2, Peacemaker presents the Vigilante Eagly double feature issue 4, Batman Giant Size Special Edition issue 161, and New History of the DC Universe issue 1, which brings us over to Boom. And there's a book that Joe's going to want to talk about in here, and I just want to come clean, Joe. I haven't read the penultimate issue or the final issue, which is out this week. I'm just going to get that out of the way right now before you start digging in on this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So let me get okay. So from Boom, we have Minor Arcana, issue 8. We have the conclusion to In Bloom, issue 5. This was just an absolutely effed up series, and I think that's mostly because of the art from John Pearson, whose art style is very distinct. It is very horrific, and this was just an absolutely outstanding story that I can't wait to discuss.
Are you going to do that on the show at some point?
I, I yes, at some point, yes.
Okay, because this is something you like. Were like, Nick, you got to check out the first issue, and I did, and like the art was like, ew, like it's great, but like it was like freaking me
Did
out
you
a little
not
bit.
read beyond the first issue?
Nope, never did.
Okay, so then, because I don't think I was, I think I will. I think I'm gonna kind of have to. It was really good, but the art is
Right.
like it's John Pearson's art, and so it's like it's screwy,
Oh yeah,
but it like in the best way possible.
right.
Uh, Army Wars, Good Apollo, I'm Burning Star for Volume 2, Issue 12. Figure out your fucking deal. VR Troopers, Issue 1, and so then the book I would like to discuss, Nicholas, which I'm assuming is the book you didn't read the penultimate issue or this issue, because I, in fact, had not read the penultimate issue, and it's like I started reading it, and I'm like, what? I'm so friggin' lost. I don't think we got review copies for the week that the last issue came out, and this story would be "When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee," issue 5, written by Gus Moreno with art by Jakob Rabalka. Um, do yourself a favor, Nicholas, and just go. It almost behooves you to read these issues back to back like that.
Ooh, okay.
Because like it really like the story's been great so far, but there's something about these two issues where it's like it's almost like one long issue, right? And so like
Mm.
and it brings it, it really brings a wild conclusion to the story. I mean, we've absolutely loved it from the get-go. You know, Rebecca's, gothic art has been outstanding. It really does give you, to me, like vibes of like, early gothic Spanish, architecture, like that vibe to it. And by reading those two issues back to back like that, I think appreciated it more versus having like had I like read issue 4 when it was originally released and then reading, issue 5 this week. Um it was you don't see the end coming. It blows you away. And with a book that's dealing with exorcism and the revelations that are uncovered in these last two issues, you just like holy smokes. This was an absolutely excellent series. And I love how it ended. I loved every single panel of every single issue, to be honest with you. This is a candidate, for a floppy award of some sort.
Yeah, we have an embarrassment of riches this year. I mean, as we did last year as well. I will say I've had the fourth issue like sitting like by my bed like calling my name, and I just can't. I have sweaty fingers and sweaty palms, so I'm always like I hate like picking up floppies. Like I like having them, but I don't want to open them and read them because like I always mess up the pages, and sometimes I just got to be like, especially if we don't get review copies, I'm just like, nope, you just got to wear it. If it's a trade, I don't care, like because it's not a collector's edition in that same way. But I just like, and I'm not a collector either of comics, but it's just I still like having my shit look nice. I don't know.
Well, I was like, I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it anyways. Like, what the hell? What the hell? So I just went and bought it digitally. Because I don't believe I have a physical copy of it, and I don't know why we didn't get review copies that week. But
That was just a random weird week for them.
yeah. So like, read them back to back. Do it.
Nice.
And you'll be like, shit. I'm glad I did.
Oh, look at that. Worked out for us in the end. A little happy accident, like Bob Ross style. Anyways, moving on to Dark Horse. We got Star Wars The High Republic Adventures, issue 19. Huck, Big Bad World, issue 2. Shadow of the Golden Crane, issue 4. From the World of Minor Threats, Welcome to Twilight, issue 4. Who Are the Power Pals, issue 4. Stranger Things, Tales from Hawkins, volume 2, issue 1. Tramps of the Apocalypse, issue 1. And then a number 2 issue, Joe, that we are both reading, but you specifically wanted to discuss.
Ah, yes, sorry, I was muted. So, The Witcher, The Bear and the Butterfly, issue 2, written by Cy Spurrier, with art by Stephen Graham. Like, so I love Bartosz Stiber's Witcher run. And like I as much as I love Cy Spurrier, I wanted more, Bartosz, but knew that The Witcher was going to be in excellent hands. And so, what we get in this second issue is we get sort of introduced to a second Witcher in the first issue. And the title being The Bear and the Butterfly, we get more of that uncovered in this second issue. And Stephen Graham's art is absolutely fantastic. I mean, to me it really
Mhm.
fits, the Witcher universe really well. He's a beautiful fantasy artist, and when it comes to Witcher, you want it to be a little darker, right? You want those darker tones. A lot of the blacks, a lot of grays, a lot of browns, a lot of sort of white in there, and it's this was an action-packed issue with a lot that sort of the unfolded. So we get the bear in the first issue, and you know uh, you get the butterfly in the second issue there, and like it's just watching how it all comes together. Like you don't see it coming, which is what you want. You don't want these things telegraphed for you, but I think Sai has really sort of captured the essence of The Witcher and the universe and what these stories are about. And there's some really great action scenes in this issue. Did you read it yet, Nicholas?
I did. I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
wanna do a deep dive into the Squire. I thought that was your boy, quite honestly.
he 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 was awesome. Because he's like this whole time, just like, hey, help me out here, because I'm probably gonna like die, and
Yeah,
you know how Geralt is, right?
yeah.
He's a a lone wolf. He was great, much better than the Squire than we get in the Pale Knight. That Squire stinks.
That Squire does stink. But my one of my favorite parts about this kid too is like he had a moment of like, oh, this is like villager insider knowledge where he helped Geralt. But then
Yep.
the second they step outside the village, he's like, well, I've never really been outside of the village.
That classic overconfident, cocky schmuck, and he's like, "Oh, well, by the way."
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, that was good. Funny kid. All right, from Mad Cave. Joe already mentioned the Pale Knight issue 2. Some awesome. The ending of the Pale Knight, both issues, has been like the absolute best part. Freaking killer.
Nick, this issue, like, it was gut wrenching, the
Hmm.
whole thing, right? Because yeah, again, I hate to say, it, but like, as a parent, right? Like, I get it. I get that. I identify, with this dude. Like, you will do anything, even if that means dancing with the devil, And then he's just the way this issue unfolded and the events that happened, and then the way it ended, I was just like, "Fuck, man!" Like, holy cow! It was such a great issue.
Yeah, it really was. But that's not even the Mad Cave book that we're talking about this week. That
No,
says a lot. Mad Cave is absolutely crushing it. Speaking of crushing, Crush Depth issue 4, which will probably be the gem of the week this week. So make sure you subscribe over on our socials where you see Joe do his stack and his gem of the week. Then we got Defenders of Earth issue 8, Blade Forger issue 4, and then a number 1, Joe, that I was like, obviously we said it was a busy week. I'm like, I want to check it out, but I'm like, I don't know what this book's deal is. Like the cover was like, the art's impressive, but like, what is this? Like, don't forget your briefcase, issue 1. And then I saw you had read it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna read it. He's not calling dibs on it, but I got to check it out. He underlined it. Like, I got to give it a look. This is written by Elliot Rawl with art by Philip Sevey, and I am so glad that you underlined it and checked it out before I did, because like, holy hell, dude, this was like the most unhinged issue
Mhm.
with an ending that you won't see coming at all. Like for all the stuff that happens in the issue, like the ending, like the last couple pages, like wait, what the fuck? I think
Yeah.
if you are looking for something different in like a first issue this week, because obviously there's plenty of first issues that are out, this is the book. Don't forget your briefcase that you should be picking up.
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz on the socials, about it, and,
Hmm.
it's an action-packed issue, man. There's a lot going on, and I think what it does really well is you've sort of got, 2 different stories going on at the same time, but you don't feel lost, you don't feel the pacing was really done really well because, like, it just kinda skips along and you're okay, boom, 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 and you're following it beat for beat for beat, but, like, it was unpredictable, it was unhinged, and the action, like, there's a scene, Nicholas, that happens, uh, it's a it's a political thriller, right?
Hmm.
And so
Yeah.
there's a scene that happens, in the White House there, and I went, "What the hell just happened?" And that wasn't even the biggest thing that
Yep.
happened in this issue. So, like, it's got everything. It's got characters that you identify with, and relate to, but it's got action, it's got intrigue, and it's got twists, baby. This was a hell of a first issue.
Yeah, it really was. Like I'm blown away. Like we slept on this. Like I'm glad that you saw it on the socials. It's funny because there are plenty of times where like this is why we do the show because there are plenty of times where this happens where I see something and then you jump in with me, but I had no clue that this was getting all the buzz. Um, huh? Funny how that
Yeah,
works.
yeah, I because it was one of those things where, like, I don't think we mentioned we just sort of read the title of it on the synopsis or the solicit, and we didn't really dive into it. But I had seen, some creators, reskeeting, retweeting, and so, like, for some reason it was sort of tattooed in the back of my brain. So when I
Hmm.
saw it, I was like, all right, make sure you read this one. And let's go.
Yeah, and also too, like the art, like Philip Sevey's art.
Mm.
That's someone who you guys want to pay. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Philip Sevey's work. I don't know if he's been doing a ton for a while, but like I saw his work and I was like, this guy's got it. Like he's gonna. I think that we're gonna see him get some more work. We should see him get some more because he's got some talent for sure. All right,
Well, yeah, because he also did the artwork that you liked on, X-Men, From Ashes and Demons and Death, right? So, like, I
That's
still
why the
think
name
something.
rung the bell. That's jeez, how is he doing 2 books like that? Maybe well, Mad Cave does stuff differently. So maybe they've
Yeah,
had
it's
that in the
coulda been in
hopper
the
for a bit.
hopper for a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 okay, that's see, I like, clearly I like the guy, I like the stuff, and I didn't even know it. Well, there you go. All right, let's, why don't you take us through these next few, Joe, 'cause I know there's a couple from Image we wanna break down.
Yeah, yeah, I'll take a image. How about that, Nicholas?
Yeah.
So from Oni Press, we have Out of Alcatraz issue 4. Like, again, just continues to be an outstanding series. And then from, Melissa Flores, we have, Biker Mice from Mars issue 1. This is a fun book, a lot of action, definitely very nostalgic. Enjoyed this one very much.
Mhm,
From IDW, we have
mm,
Sonic the Hedgehog issue 79. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday Morning Adventures issue 26, Godzilla 70th Anniversary Foil Classics, Godzilla the Half Century War issue 1.
mm,
I can tell you this, people, from IDW, they are going all in on Godzilla. They are creating
mhm,
a new Godzilla universe, and if go to Spotify, if you go to Apple Music, or wherever you listen to your podcast and you subscribe to TLDR, you just may hear more about Godzilla and what IDW has cooking up over there.
ooh,
From Vault, Lilith issue 5, perhaps. From AWA Studios, we have the Purpose Project issue 1. From Titan or Titan, as I've heard it both ways, we have the Savage Sword of Conan issue 9. Huge Detective issue 5. Star Wars Insider issue 232. And Noun Town issue 3. And then from Dynamite, hopefully, I know there's just been some issues there. Barbarella issue 5 and Red Sonja versus the Army of Darkness issue 3. And Nicholas, take us home, country roads with Image and Skybound.
All right. So we got Void Rivals issue 20, The Department of Truth issue 31, Gunslinger Spawn issue 44, Hyde Street issue 7.
Did you read Hyde
Uh,
Street?
Hyde Street was awesome, man. Like what
Oh man.
yeah, the ending was like God, like they like yeah, it was just like a
Oh,
subtle like,
Frankie.
yep,
Oh, Frankie.
yep. Big issue for Pranky. We're getting more and more of Pranky, and I don't think that's going to be changing anytime soon. Undiscovered Country, issue 31. We're taking everyone down with us. Issue 4 continues to be an outstanding series. You'll Do Bad Things, issue 4. Moonshine Bigfoot, issue 3. Sweet Paprika, Open for Business, issue 5. Dark Honor, issue 2. News from the Fallout, issue 1. This is written by Chris Condon with art by Jeffrey Allen Love. You guys heard us talk about this series a long while back. We got to look at this well before the FOC, like right around when it was announced. We were able to talk about it. Really enjoyed the series and the first issue, and the art is really, really chilling. Like Jeffrey Allen Love, whose cover work I'm sure everybody's seen. Definitely, like seeing him do interiors is something else. And then we got Lazarus Fallen, issue 1. I got a book that I want to break down, Joe, but there's another one. Did you want to weigh in on Feral at all, too?
Oh man, so Feral, of course, issue 14, written by Tony Fleece with art by Tone Rodriguez and Trish Forstner. Man, like this book, it's gone. I don't want to say it's gone through different iterations, but it's gone through different like phases, and that's just the hero's journey, right? It's just these cats journey. It's taking them through different terrains, different scenarios, and each time like the tone shift, the characters that you meet just like give you the creeps, right? And we've
Yeah,
we've gone from the old lady's house to now we're in the feral versus version of PetSmart or Petco, and I really got to tell you, like they may creep me out. Those cats and those pets, they may creep me out more than the old lady.
that's fair.
Because there's some shit that happens, and I couldn't like, I don't know, like for some reason, like, and this is probably just me, but like it shows like the cats eating wet food, and I kept like waiting for the moment that we're gonna find out that like those are like dead cat fetuses that they're eating. I don't know why my brain went there. Maybe that's why I'm in therapy. But like, not a lot of action happened in this issue, but it might be one of the creepiest issues yet.
Yeah, it was like get ready to get weirded out, everybody.
Oh, very weird.
And on top of all that, there have been like new players that have entered the mix over the last 3-4 issues or so, and they've been questionable for different reasons. Like they're very different characters within the course of the story. There's one character who made some interesting moves in this issue, and I am very, very curious what this individual's end game is because I'm not exactly certain, but could be. There's a couple things that it could be, but that I was like, whoa. So
Very sus.
yes,
Very sus. And I don't know if I like this cat, to be honest with you.
hmm
I don't know. No, I don't know. Although Lord was kind of pissing me off a little bit.
Lord frustrates the hell out of me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, very frustrating.
yes, he is beyond frustrating. That's for damn sure.
You just kind of want to grab him by the scruff and be like, "Rah,"
Yeah,
They,
yeah.
they say don't shake kids, Nicholas, but sometimes they need to be shook. Just saying.
Kids or cats?
Both.
Gotcha. This is explaining some things. All right. That is going to do it for us this week. But reminder, make sure you subscribe to our audio channels as well as our YouTube channel. But subscribe to our audio channels because it's the only place you're going to find our Friaride Chats. And you never know when one of those is going to pop up. So make sure you subscribe so that way it gets delivered right to your listening device. You got anything else before we go, Joe?
Keep reading, baby. Ha